Alright guys, what's up? It's Iceman again. Hey, this video is a video response to a video that Jim Skelton just put up. And it's actually his response to Suppa's video about knife collectors, users, safe queens, those kind of things. So basically like the different types of knife users. And I just wanted to kind of let my channel, my subscribers know, and kind of in response to Jim's video, what I do. I mean, why do I have knives, and how do I use my knives, and etc. So I have a bunch of them out here. This is most of my collection. I don't have the extensive collection as a lot of knife users do, but I've kind of upgraded mine, I think, in a lot of ways. I have a lot of higher end knives for me, higher end production knives. I haven't dipped into the custom world yet. One thing that I'm big into is getting a production knife like this Zon and having it pimped in a certain way. Having this one has been anodized, nice blue, so it's kind of unique. There's not a lot of Zons that are this color blue. You can't buy one from Chris Reeve like this. You'd have to get it anodized like I did. So kind of like that. The Browse Reloader is my first mid-tech knife. Beautiful knife. I mean, absolutely love this thing. I've been carrying this around. I just did a video review on that. So basically, I have like my ZT560 CBCF. I have a lot of limited edition knives that are production knives. I haven't really, like I said, dipped into the custom world yet. I've been really tempted to. This is a mini Onslaught Benchmade. That's a SHOT Show edition. 500, limited run of 500. Same with the Browse. It's a limited run of 500. 1,000 on the ZT560 CBCF. So kind of more where I'm going lately has been, this Alias is obviously production, but this is the first production run, 172. So I kind of like aim for those kind of knives in my collection. As far as like my utilization of knives, I mean, here's another real quick, a pimped one, Boker Quakin. You've seen this video. I have my Vanquish out with Alex Dietz right now, getting an awesome pimp job on it. I'm super stoked for that. Rival making a carbon fiber multi-directional scale for my ZT550. So I don't like to leave knives stock, I guess you'd say. This is like one of my only ones, the Spyderco Sage. And the Boker Monero is going to be anodized soon as well. So kind of like to get knives that I like to pimp. For me, I'm not really one that's going to go out and spend a lot of money on custom knives right now, just in my life. Not really a realistic thing for me to be doing with a wife and 3 children, and it's just not for me. That's not a smart decision in my opinion. So, but I do like to have unique knives. I like to have something a little different than everyone else, and that's why it's fun to get knives that you can send off and get. There's a lot of talented knife pimpers out there like Alex Dietz and Tough Thumbs and Bauer. I'd have to remember his username. It's Bauer something or other. They do some awesome work, and those guys are kind of an inspiration for me. And not that I'm going to start knife pimping. I don't have the skills like they do, but it's whenever I buy a knife, I think am I going to send this to Alex, or am I going to send this to Tough Thumbs to get something done to it? So, but as far as how I use my knives, I rotate these knives pretty much on a daily basis. I try to carry something new every day. Like the my CRKT8 Euros. This is my like gentleman's folder. It only gets carried about once a week on Sundays probably. So it doesn't get used a ton. Most of my new knives don't get used a ton. And what are they used for? They're used for your everyday cutting tasks. You're opening your letters, your packages come in the mail with a new knife. What do? You open it with a knife. Nothing real hard to use. I do have some fixed blades not displayed here because they're too large, that I would use for more hard use things, and I don't mind beating up on those. I'm not going to take my reloader and beat up on it. I mean, it's just too beautiful of a knife. It's nice. I mean, I know it's a hard use knife and it could take the abuse, but that's just not how I'm going to use it. And that's what this video is about, in response to Jim's video. And he's kind of similar in his, except for he's got beautiful custom knives, but he uses them for everyday use, and that's how I am. And I just kind of want to get that across to my subscribers, to my YouTube channel. Maybe I can, those that haven't subscribed to Jim Skelton, you have to check him out. I'm sure most of you have. If you're on my channel, you're most likely on his. So He does some awesome videos, some beautiful knives that I just kind of lust after, and that I may never be able to purchase. But this is just kind of a short rant, or a video response to Jim's video and to Suppa's video that Jim responded to. You know, and I don't have anything against anyone owning knives how they want to do it. If they want to have save queens and not use their knives, more power to them. You know, I don't care. I use mine. Every one of these knives is used. But are they abused? Absolutely not. There's a big difference between using and abusing a knife. These are all in pristine condition. I mean, if you buy a knife from me or you trade a knife with me, you know, I have lots of feedback on blade forums, and I've had lots of satisfied people because I keep my knives in good condition. I take care of them. So if you're getting a trade or a purchase, you know, it's most likely going to be new in box or lightly used knife. It's not going to be abused. You know, I mean, this Bradley, I've had this in my collection probably longer than any knife, minus my original Kershaw. Needs work, which has been beat on, but I don't mind beating on that, you know, cheaper knife. You're going to get some, you know, in good condition, and that's because I just don't abuse knives. I just lightly use them. And one thing I liked in Jim's video was that he said he carried them as a secondary defensive weapon, and that's exactly what I do. I don't rely on a knife for primary defense, but I mean, having that big old beefy, you know, 4-inch blade on this ZT560 as a backup weapon is not a bad idea to my gun that I normally carry. So that's one reason why I use knives, have knives on me all the time for everyday cutting tasks, like I explained earlier, and just because I love them. I mean, one thing I will say is if you don't want a knife that's been played with a lot, then don't buy one from me, because I am constantly playing with them and driving my wife crazy. I'll sit there at night, flip this thing, shut it, flip it, shut it. Probably drives her nuts. But that's what I do. You know, I play with them. I like fondling them. I view them as a piece of art. I think, you know, some of these are just beautiful pieces of work, and I just admire them, and I do use them, but I don't, like I said, I don't abuse them. So I think that's all I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to do a 20-minute video or anything like that. This is, you know, about 7 minutes so far, and I don't usually try to keep them under 10 minutes. I think you kind of get distracted and lose your attention when you're doing longer. I do have a new knife on the way to me, and a Strider SNG. This is my first Strider coming in. Got it off the Blade Forums exchange. Really stoked for it. Try to just kind of, I like to try out knives, see what the hype's about. You know, my first Chris Reeves knife wasn't all that. You know, it was an awesome knife, but I wasn't, you know, it just didn't tickle me. That sounds funny. Didn't tickle my fancy, I guess is what I was trying to say. And but this Amazon totally did. So, you know, first Strider, gonna try it out, see how I like it. I've sold off a few knives recently that should be in this video that aren't, just to kind of fund that purchase. But I do find myself on the higher end of knives now. You know, like this 560 is probably the most expensive piece in my collection. This reloader is pretty close to that. But most of them aren't, you know, terribly expensive. So I'm kind of more of the, you know, workers man kind of, you know, collector. I'm, you know, gonna have a lot of knives, the same as a lot of people, but then, like I said, I like to get them modified in some way or another to kind of set them apart. So anyhow, that's my response to Jim's video, and I think it's a great topic to discuss. So if you want to make a video response to my video or to his video or to Suppa's original video, that's great. You know, biggest thing I want to get across is how I use my knives, and how, you know, other people are going to differ, and it's not anyone's, in my opinion, space, or it's not their right really to belittle or to you know, talk down to someone because they don't use their knives like they're supposed to. And they're, you know, like in Suppa's video, he was saying that some people might think that collectors are pussies or something, but, you know, that's cool. If they want to collect knives, let them collect knives. That's their prerogative. I use mine, but, you know, more prerogative to them. And, you know, if you don't agree with what I do with my knives, well, that's, you know, that's your opinion. That's great. So anyhow, this has been pretty much a random rant. So I apologize if it's lots of just rants going on, but at least you got to see some cool knives in the video, right? I mean, that's a pretty decent number of knives in one video to show. So anyhow, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And if you want to make a response on how you use your knives and how you collect, that'd be great. Take care, and we'll see you next time.